CNN Newsroom.
From Tehran to Washington, the calls for change in the Islamic Republic of Iran are also growing this weekend. More demonstrations against Iran's disputed election and the government's violent crackdown are slated again today in our nation's capital. CNN's Reza Sayah, recently back from Iran, is now in D.C. Reza, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, Tom, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen more pro-democracy rallies for Iran outside of Iran than we've seen inside, and that's because protesters are free to hold rallies outside of Iran. The latest one taking place in Washington, D.C. today. Let's take a look at some pictures. This rally started about an hour ago. Not a huge gathering, hundreds of people, but it is growing. It started at the Reflecting Pool, and it's working its way up here to Lafayette Park in front of the White House, where they'll have some speakers and some music. There's some Americans part of this rally, but most of them are Iranians, part of the Iranian diaspora who have left Iran over the past 3 decades because they simply haven't been happy with the conditions there. They wanted more social and more political freedoms, and they've been concerned about the post-election turmoil and really inspired by the uprising there. Joining us right now is Mrs. Soona Samsami, head of the Women's Freedom Movement here. You helped to organize this. You're thousands of miles away from what's going on in Iran. What can you do from this far away?
Yes, as you know, in last month, more than 200 people have been killed, thousands arrested, injured, severely beaten. So we all, along American women, human rights organization, Iranian-American communities, support of members of Congress, senators, we all coming here to have and be voice of NIDA and also voice of all the people that cannot their voice be heard outside of Iran.
All right. Mrs. Samsami, unfortunately, we haven't had much time, so I appreciate your thoughts. That number of killed, obviously disputed. The government says only 20. Mrs. Samsami and some people part of this rally want the international community to cut off all diplomatic and economic ties. Tom, that's the debate that you're going to be hearing for the weeks and months to come.
All right, Reza, thanks for keeping us up to date on all of that. Neda, of course, being that young woman who died in the difficulties over there. If you are planning a trip to another country, Canada, soon, there are some new travel guidelines.